Lord, remember me when you come into your kingdom. Luke chapter 23, verse 42. Behold the maidservant of the Lord, let it be according to me according to your word. Luke chapter 1, verse 38. Dr. F.A., doctor and dean of one of the universities in Egypt, tells at the end of December of the year 1980, when I was about 48 years old, I pleaded with the Virgin Mary about a certain ordeal that I was facing. I expressed my sorrow to her and I explained to her how upset I was because I was unable to visit her church in Ezbawiyah, which I used to visit on a regular basis. I, in deep sorrow, as I was driving back to my home, all of a sudden, at the start of the Giza Street, I felt the car being turned around without my control, and it was heading close to the Church of the Virgin Mary Ezbawiyah. A force pulled me out of the car until I found myself inside the church, and I was very thankful to God along with the Virgin Mary for her intercession on my behalf. During the year 1976, when I was 44 years old, my body began to swell up and then my blood temperature soared. This in turn caused white and black patches to appear over my right eyebrow and my arms. When I resorted to the doctor, he diagnosed the case as tumors around my body. In the year 1978, a skin lesion appeared on my right hand and on the right side of my scalp. During the year 1979, some boils appeared on the right side of my neck, close to my thyroid gland, and they developed very quickly. The doctor then discovered that there was a lump on my thyroid gland, and when he tested a sample of the lump, I thank God that it turned out to be benign. During the year 1980, some ulcers appeared inside my stomach, and they developed very quickly to the point where I experienced cramps and severe heartburn. I also felt that my stomach was heavy, and when the doctor examined me, he concluded that I had tumors in my stomach as well. During the year 1981, tumors were found on my back, and my whole body was in pain. In addition to the fact that I had diabetes, towards the end of July of the year 1983, I was at the peak of my exhaustion. Nevertheless, I decided to visit the Church of the Virgin Mary Ezbawiyah. I stood to pray in front of the Virgin Mary's ancient icon, which depicts her carrying Christ the child. I submitted my soul to Christ and I asked him to deal with me according to his good will. I submitted everything to the intercession of the Virgin Mary and I said I will accept whatever comes my way, whether good or bad. I will not object to the adversities that I am facing. May it be according to God's will. When I looked at the icon closely, I noticed that the Virgin Mary was laughing through. After I said my prayers, I approached one of the church's monks to anoint me with holy oil. After I was anointed with the holy oil, I bid my Lord Jesus, the Virgin Mary, and the church farewell. Towards the end of the Virgin Mary's fast on the day of August 21, 1983, my wife, son, and daughter then went to St. George's Church in Giza in order to pray Vespers celebrating St. Mary's feast. However, I remained at home. That night at around 8:30 p.m., while St. Mary's picture was in procession, I stood on my balcony, which was in front of the church, and I saw the heavenly doves that encircled the church's northern dome. The doves were flying in a sudden way towards the left of the western side of the church. After that, I saw a small, illuminated figure that suddenly appeared beside the cross, located on the church's northern dome. Suddenly, multiple heavenly bodies appeared of the same size. All of a sudden, a larger illuminated figure appeared over the highest cross, and its face was very vivid. It had the features of a human being's face, and I noticed that it was looking at my face with focus and concentration. The illuminated figure then flew past me, being accompanied by a bright light. According to one of the monks at the Syrian monastery, this illuminated heavenly figure may very well have been Archangel Michael. He looked at me as if trying to say something, but without uttering a single word. The angel then returned back to the church dome, and shortly afterwards, the Virgin Mary appeared standing in mid-air towards the eastern side of the cross. The Virgin Mary appeared in an illuminated form. She appeared peacefully, and then she walked between the heavenly bodies that were present around her as they rejoiced exceedingly amidst her presence. During this time, Archangel Michael still kept his eyes fixated on my face, and then the Virgin Mary disappeared. Afterwards, all the heavenly bodies disappeared together and their lights were gone at 8:53 p.m. Immediately after this, the doves returned back to the church dome in a straight line, without spreading their wings. This is despite the fact that scientifically, doves don't fly at night, which indicates that they were indeed heavenly creatures. At around 10 p.m., when my wife and daughter and sons returned home from the church, the next morning, on the day of August 22, 1983, I felt that the heaviness in my stomach was slowly leaving my body. I had a bowel movement, and my stool was extremely dark, and I had a very pungent odor. Afterwards, I drank lots of water, and I had other bowel movements. After this, my weight decreased by 16 kilograms due to the loss of all the tumors that God had healed me from. My body was no longer swollen. All my pain had subsided. I no longer had ulcers. I was completely healed, and this was towards the end of September 1983. Indeed, when I reminisced on the past, I felt in my heart that when I saw St. Mary laughing through her icon at her church in Ezbawiyah, it was as if she were foreshadowing a miracle that was to bring about my healing. Sure enough, the miracle was fulfilled and I was healed. On the day of June 27, 2003, which was the day of my daughter's birthday, at 9 a.m. I was getting ready to leave for work until I heard a voice urging me to go to the Virgin Mary's Church in Ezbawiyah. After 15 minutes I heard the voice once again, and at 9:30 a.m. I headed to the church. I stood in front of St. Mary's icon and I found that her face was illuminated with a strong light. And then she appeared outside of the icon in the form of an illuminated body. She began to speak to me, but I was unable to hear her, so I said to her, "I can't hear you. Can you raise your voice so that I can hear you?" St. Mary then laughed gracefully, and I said to her, "Are you happy because it's my daughter's birthday?" The Virgin Mary continued to speak, but still, I could not hear her. She then returned back to the icon, and this concluded the apparition.